got my friend Alan out here for a drive, and I got some fresh meat in the queue. An oldie but a goodie for sure. This is our next project.
Oh man, got me sweating over here.
The old 1931 jalopy trick. It's complete. Great driving car.
It sure beats riding a horse.
I can't imagine what it was like.
He got on the little road and the little path there, and he's gunning it. This little four-cylinder is pushing all it's got.
One of my old friends has wanted to build a hot rod for a long time. He found this Model A and dropped it off at the shop. He's really particular about the style and era he's looking for, but I think there's still a lot of room for envisioning.
Does he know what you do on this show?
Talk about the nostalgia ride.
I'm telling you. Dude, this thing is rad. Like it screams rad.
I mean, when you look at this iconic Model A, right now, in 2023, it looks like Grandpa's parade car, right? It's like, oh,
Right.
Nice antique. We were discussing, like, post-war hot rod, like, take it all the way back. Take it back to when it was, or could have been first modified. What a kid would have done when he inherited the family truckster back in the day.
The car is shivering right now. When you shut the door, it started shivering. It's scared.
That's the last sound you hear before the torch comes out, right?
That's it. That's it.
A huge part of the hot rodding culture is the original stuff, you know, the real post-war era modification of the American hot rod. As I understand, GIs returning from the war, kind of a little stir crazy. They needed something to do. They wanted to go fast. There's a lot of old cars around. All of them had some kind of a mechanical skill from being in the service, and it's like, hey, let's start messing around.
It's right up my alley. I used to be a traditionalist, hardcore back in the day. Of course, working with Ian, all that goes out the window. So to come back and be able to do something back at that level, that's the style that I love. That's real hot rodding right there.
There was no rule book. Guys barely had tools, right? Picking apart old jalopies and just racing them at full potential, that's cool. They would chop the top, they would channel them, then came the Z frames,
Right.
It goes on and on. But I was thinking, to keep this car, you know, still in that vein of like piece of history and not like a full race car.
Right.
Just strip it down and pop it up, baby.
I like hot rods.
Yeah, me too. As far as this car goes, it looks like somebody should be driving Miss Daisy to the market in it. Fortunately for me, I'm not much of a parade goer, so I think this car can come apart. It's got one steel fender, and the rest are fiberglass, so he's like,
Oh, okay. So it's been built at one time.
it's been restored for sure, yeah. It's got the rumble seat, check this out. And you know me, guess what I brought along for the ride? The ultimate accessory,
Safety first.
just in case.
Yeah, definitely. This is way different than before. You always introduced me to like scrap metal, and now we're looking at a beautiful car.
You never know what to expect, man. I keep you on your toes. For this project, the client was saying, Ian, I just want the look. You know, what would you do if it was your hot rod and you wanted it in a traditional style? You know, you pick the numbers, you pick the look. He's talking about doing an engine swap, juice brakes, etc. For right now, this project is mainly the aesthetic. All the mechanical stuff happens later.
I think like the challenge would be, hey, let's keep it fully traditional. Do you think you could gas weld it?
I got a torch set. We could gas weld it for sure.
Do it like Gene Winfield would do it in his mom's front yard.
I think it's a chicken coop, actually.
Chicken coop, there it is.
Right on.
Couldn't remember.
Yeah, I'll bring the chickens. You bring the hacksaw blades.
Some of the traditionalists will appreciate it.
That would be a first for me. And obviously start by taking all the accessories and fenders off.
Oh, yeah.
Take the bumpers off, take the lights off, maybe leave the door handles. That's the name of the game, right? Keep it light and lean.
This is a homemade spacer made out of wood, so.
I heard that all the wood in these cars were the actual shipping crates in the factory. Mr. Ford said, that's good wood. Make the floors out of that, all the shipping boxes.
Oh, wow.
I knew I was in the right business. Even the pioneers were into recycling and repurposing. The body is definitely taken off on this car because it's got nice undercoat under here. I could see a couple of the pieces of the floor have been replaced because it's riveted in. It's definitely an aftermarket stamp, but no cancer. I feel like Busted Knuckle Garage is on the way.
Oh, yeah. I am.
You heard of mouse traps, that's an Allen trap.
That sure is. This thing is heavy.
The inside of this car is so nice. Let's pull all the interior out, get rid of anything that might burn or get sparks. Yeah, oops. Because of the fact we're chopping the car, it's gonna need all new glass. It's just the price of being cool. Caveman labor, caveman results.
Dude, check out the wood framing in here. It's like brand new.
This exposed roof is exactly what we're looking for. Just like the rest of the car, it's a stripped down race car, bottom line. The aesthetic is the function. A little bit better. This one was a little more successful. Awesome. All right, man, after this, no modern tools, right? That's the deal?
That's the deal.
Yeah, looks like you're there.
There we go. Look at that.
Yeah, man, let's get this thing out in the breeze. Take a look.
All right.
Just stripping down the car is what gets us in the ballpark. But what we do from here will really sell the concept. This is totally interesting because it's the exact opposite of what we do.
Right.
Typically, we mock stuff up, we pile things, come up with ideas, and all we did here was reduce, reduce.
Oh, I know. Two totally different worlds. Starting from here is like the perfect starting point because now we can take it subtle, we can take it a little bit wilder, or we can take it all the way.
Of course, the chop top is going to set this in motion 100%.
I agree.
Following in our forefathers' footsteps, we shall hot rod this grandpa wagon. We are on our way. All right, man, it's time to lower the altitude of this thing.
How low can he go?
After a lot of looking and some thinking, Alan and I agree, a 4-inch chop will take us in the right direction.
So what are you thinking about the back? Are we just gonna go straight through it?
Deciding on how much to chop is only half the enchilada. The real spice is how do you cut it out? Let's drop the window 1.5 inches. What do you think about that? Because look how much up it is. So from this black, from the black edge to this little trim detail is 1 5/8.
Okay, I see.
What if we matched it?
Ooh, pre-thinking.
So we could drop the window 1 1/4 and end up with the same proportion of the black line.
That would look nice.
But again, looking back at this, just looking, look, the back window's up for sure.
It does look higher.
So let's drop that window 1 1/4, and then we'll chop it the rest through the center. 2 3/4, we'll chop the glass.
So this went from a simple additional problem to a geometry problem real quick.
That's the way I see things, man.
Here we go. The simple way of doing it would have just been cut it straight through the window. Your window would have shrank, and that's what normally people do. He wants to pull the back window down a little bit to be level with the other windows, and to me, it's just genius. Man, I think this is the most well thought out build we've ever done.
Well, let's not get carried away, man. You know who you're working with, right? This tool is so old, it survived the great flood of 2019. Following Alan's idea to do this chop by hand, you know, the way they would do it back in the day, I'm breaking out the hacksaw. You see, it does cut pretty efficiently. Oh, it's gonna take some effort, man.
It sounds so painful.
Ow, ow, ow. All right, I'm gonna let you make some progress.
Sweet. I think Ian bought used hacksaws because that thing was so hard to saw through.
Hey, Alan, that was a great idea to do this traditional style, huh?
I'm feeling it now. But that's why when you meet them old men, they got these huge forearms, you know?
Freaking Popeye arms.
Exactly. And I'm like, there's no way.
It's nothing like taking a little time to sit back and think about our forefathers. Yep. All the progress they made from simple hand tools to what our society's evolved into today. Oh, who let the cameras in here? Hey, the traditional thing was Alan's idea. nothing speaks the truth like a real-life mock-up. It's time to set this sucker on and see what we come up with.
Drum roll, please.
Ooh, that's a chopped Model A right there.
That's the look right there.
Definitely not the way Henry Ford would have did it, but that's the way I would do it. That's proper.
The driver's door looks really good. The back window is perfectly shaped. See the neat part when you see this, it matches
Flows
all the way
right
around,
through.
right?
This little trick with the back window really pays off when it's set back in place. For whatever reason, the Model A had sort of a raised up back window in the panel, and by doing the chop the way we did, they all kind of stay around the bottom of the belt line.
This looks so natural,
Yeah, it looks correct.
like it belongs. To me, there's two kinds of people in this world. There's people that want it all factory stock, and there's other people that just want to just customize it. These people are going to be mad at these people, and these people are going to be mad at these people, and they're never going to mix. You just got to find your happy medium, what makes you happy.
We're not out of the antique shop yet. We still got a couple more things to do before we're race ready. I'm really happy with the overall layout of this, dude. Little rake in the front suspension maybe, but it's aggressive looking. I know you want to gas weld this. I know you're dying to, but think about it. You got this nice interior, the smoke's gonna be going up into the chicken wire, and the spark gets in there. It's just a freaking cookout, man.
My elbows are sore from the hacksaw.
Yeah.
I thought I could just rough it out. I thought about the grandfathers that were doing it back in the day. No.
I gotta tell you, holding that hacksaw for 5 minutes really makes me appreciate the modern conveniences. I'd like to just take the MIG and get all the things locked in. Just bzz, 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 keep it cool, keep the heat under control. We'll have at it with the torch for old time's sake, but there's a lot to be said for modern technology. For just setting this off, I'm gonna put these little backer strips. So you got these little gaps here. If you were TIG welding or gas welding, you'd be able to just work through that, but since we're using the MIG, I'm just gonna back it. It's gonna be really strong. This technique is a little bit different than the fly by the seat of our pants technique. It feels so elegant and refined. This is one of the oldest tricks in the book. It might be the oldest trick in the book. It's the oxyacetylene torch. You can heat with this, you can cut with it, you can weld with it. It's got all different attachments, all different torches. Pretty much you could build a car with this back in the day. That's kind of what they would do. They would have a hammer and a chisel, a couple wrenches, and one of these. Ye old fire axe.
Yeah, you know, Gene still uses his even now. You know,
Exclusively.
I think it's a dying art for sure. Like, nobody builds hot rods like this at all except Gene.
Working with Gene Winfield on a couple projects, I learned a lot. I had never chopped a car with a torch, and he uses that almost exclusively.
I was able to live with Gene for about 3 years almost, and in that time, he's teaching me everything he knows, and gas welding was just one of the deals. Just to be able to learn that knowledge from the pioneer of hot rodding, it's priceless, man.
I'm just gonna fuse it right into the sheet metal. In these corners, there's a little bit of adjustment to be made. So he's gonna end up gas welding right through, but as he works it, he's gonna hammer and dolly that right into shape, like a boss. I'm gonna be on fire patrol. Yes, sir.
Pre-war, there was no rod, just a torch by itself. And then after the war, they ended up adding the rod because it made your weld stronger. For us to use that same method, it's just so, you know, humbling. It's probably the hardest thing with this is like you heat it up, you have to keep control of the metal because it's constantly moving as you heat it.
So what happens is that he heats it, it expands. As it's constricting, he forces it into shape, and he's ultimately, you see how big a gap it is on this side? He's working that out to a flush panel. You see, with the MIG weld, your heat-affected zone is that big, right?
Right.
With the torch,
And
it's all over the place.
place.
Next up is the back window frame, new and improved. Window glass is 2 3/4 smaller, and the windows dropped 1 1/4.
See, that's very tasteful. It's done very tastefully.
That's
you
the
know?
story of my life, Alan. Very tasteful. I've never built a bad tasting car. Whew. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the story of the back window. We're just gonna take all this welding very slow. We get no shrink, no muss, no fuss. Alan and I finished up all the welding. We got our sanding on, and the body's looking pretty good. Thinking about the next step, like as much as I really like low cars, I'm just not really feeling a channel for this build. Yeah, I mean, if you channel it too, then the axle's coming up, you're gonna start cutting the body here, you're cutting the floor out. You know, I love this seat, so, you know, the suspension, everything comes up into the car.
No, I get it. The rumble seat, super rad. Most people have to sacrifice it once they start cutting them up. So it's cool that we'll be able to keep it.
Yeah, we just won't be wearing our tall hat when we drive it, but everything else is Model A.
Screams maturity.
What? Don't ever use that word again. I got a few more tricks up my conservative sleeve. Looking at these side pans, I got a few ideas that'll really meld them in nice with the rest of the car. Right now, they're just sheet metal edge. They're razor sharp. Maybe you want to take this round rod and just edge this. Just tack it all on there. That way it's a nice finished edge, and we could put a little filler on it, have a nice rollout off of the sheet metal surface.
Oh, yeah. Now that brings the sexy into it. I think we should trim it to like meet up with the rear wheel well.
Oh, that's a good idea, for sure. Right, that line comes straight down instead of just to the back of that. If you want to set that up, I'm going to trim this windshield. The first step is to just take these hole measurements, bring them down 4 inches on everything. One of the challenges when you do have parameters on the creativity, it's just like, okay, well, instead of thinking outside the box, you got to do like as much as you can inside the box, which is a challenge in itself. Mini window. That's the thing, we didn't chop it like the top. I just took the, yeah, where that screws together.
Dude, that's badass.
Just how Mr. Ford intended it. Oh yeah, for sure, dude. That looks great.
Like how it follows the rear wheel opening,
Yes.
comes down.
It adds to it 100%. Thinking with these headlights, we're gonna do this classic hot rod thing also, because we don't have any fenders for this to bolt onto.
Right.
If we bolt it to the car, like right there, and then I take the rod, so you're heating right here, I take the rod and bend it, and then boom, the headlight is facing where it's supposed to.
In theory, you know, it sounds like it would work.
I was hoping this idea would be met with a little more optimism. Alan wants the old tools. I mean, what's more caveman than bending stuff by hand? I tell you, sometimes it's a tough room in here. How's that look to you? Custom.
That's awesome. That's a first for me right there.
Put your tongue on that, see how hot it is. Just looking at pictures of the old hot rods, the headlights always appeared to be dropped down, which I thought gave it a really aggressive look. And then using the stock stuff and repurposing it, that's cool. Blacksmith 101, baby.
I'm learning.
I wish we had the same color lens. We're gonna have to work on that.
Let's get that full visual.
Yeah, man. How's it looking?
It looks good to me.
There's something about it when you drop the headlights
Yeah.
like that. It just looks like super cool.
That's traditional hot rod in 101 right there. Like, you can't get any more traditional than that. That's working with what you got and making it look good.
Yeah, as much as I love that antique two-tone paint job, I think getting this to one tone, let's just see how it feels.
Little primer here, little primer there. We'll be soapbox racing in no time.
For sure. Classy, baby. Well, all right, Alan had to say farewell. He's got a real job to take care of, but we got this thing in primer. It's looking good. Body panels were very straight. Probably the biggest bodywork project on this was getting these two pans to look like one piece because they had a seam in here somewhere. This is starting to get aggressive. Getting this car into primer really helps move it into the hot rod realm. It doesn't look like Grandpa's parade car anymore. You know, in my world, anything can happen, right? It's full custom garage. Teenage kid in a primer hot rod, watch out. I was kind of ruminating on gauges in it, and I want to kind of upgrade the interior, make it look a little bit, different than the other guy's car. And I've done all kinds of weird dashboard arrangements, but, this is a pretty lean hot rod. Back in the day, I would have been thumbing through the Speedway catalog, and we'd like, that's the part right there. So I ordered one. So this is a 32 style dash that literally just bolts right into the Model A. I got some gauges. You know, they're the old style Stuart Warner. This one goes up to 160. That's pretty optimistic in my book, but hey, it leaves room at the back end for further progression. The other arrangement here, the dashboard is just a little chrome thing attached to the gas tank. What this would do would raise the electric stuff off the tank and set it up here. It's got me thinking like, well, what would a dashboard have, right? Would it have a glove box? I mean, if you could just choose anything for your dashboard, would it have an opening panel that the Model A simply does not offer? This is just me thinking out loud. Obviously, front row and center, no doubt, you're gonna have the big gauge. You're gonna have accessories. And I have a part of another car, and I'm thinking glove box, right? So this is one of the last pieces of that Nash Metropolitan, the little car. It's got a glove box door that I just couldn't resist. Does that not look like a pretty close fit? I got two words, I'm gonna make it one. Nash Dash. The whole thing about this Nash Metropolitan was just, it wasn't like the candidate for customization as it was, but the parts are so quirky, I've spread them out over a number of projects. This is the moment this entire project has been leading up to. Will the glove box fit? This is the mini glove box technique. I only pull it out once every decade or so, but when I do, it's a ride. You know, it's all fun when you get started in a relationship and then you realize there's work to be done. The romance wears off, you realize the hinge isn't actually gonna work. Before I go cutting everything apart, the next best way to see if everything's gonna fit is the paper mock-up technique, second only to the giant pizza box technique. What we have here with the hole placement is sort of like the moon cycle on the horizon. The trick here is I'm running out of room real fast. This is a tiny little glove box and a tiny little dashboard, and it really is just maxing it out. Look at this, the 2-wrench technique coupled with the mating of the Nash and the 32 Ford. Just witness the power of street knowledge. The massage technique right through here, right on that, yes. It's the name of the game. Fit it up, take it apart, repeat. Tiny glove box. Already, this is pretty satisfying, you know, it's gonna work. It's a mashup of two very different cars in a very in-the-box parameter. Nice tight fit. That way it doesn't go shaking around. Let's do that 4 times more. Smoking. So even though this layout of the gauges looks good in my opinion, one thing I wasn't considering is that that stock piece of the gas tank is in the way. And when that comes in, look, it's right there. That gauge is not gonna fit. And then these over here are still really tight against the gas tank. The cowl, this is the gas tank. You put the gas in here. This fuel gauge, it's like a sight glass almost. You're looking into the fluid level. I'm thinking maybe just cut out this entire section. Just get an aftermarket tank, set it in the back where it's a little more protected. And I mean, imagine this in a front end collision. Being that it is partial structure of the car, instead of removing the gas tank, I'm just going to cut out a portion. And this car hasn't had fuel in it since we put it in the garage. This thing is 100% dried out, so I'm confident cutting it won't be a problem. Do not cut your gas tank if there's fuel in or around it. That there is the inside of a gas tank. So even though it looks a bit like a bookshelf at the moment, let me explain. Imagine you're carrying a 5-gallon bucket of gasoline and it's an open bucket, right? All that fluid is sloshing around in there, right? Coming out of the top, etc. So in most gas tanks, they have what are called baffles. So you got all these little segmented areas of gasoline that are interconnected through these little baffles. Yeah, now you got all this room for the gauges. Just goes right back in place. I'm sure you've asked yourself a million times, why is it called a glove box? Because you put your gloves right there. Look at that. Once a new tank arrives, I'll wire it up, plumb it, and this puppy will be ready to hit the gas station. It's all part of the master plan. Looking at the dashboard, I gotta say, looks classy, but definitely a little different. I'd say period correct. Next, a couple more aesthetic details, and we're just about ready for cruise night. Back in the day, you take your tiny little gloves and put them in a tiny little glove box. Another fun fact from Honest Ian's Glove Box Historical Society. I'm gonna need a bigger glove box. We're here in Burbank, California at the Road Kings Car Show. Happens every year at the Johnny Carson Park, and it's a hotbed of hot rod history and all the new stuff as well. I'm not sure what the parameters are to be a road king, but I'm always looking for inspiration, and a lot of it comes from the history of stuff. So it's a vibe, it's a flavor, and I'm just looking to see what's in the mix. Lead sled? Heck yeah, there they are. What's not to like about any of these cars? I mean, you know me, I'm a fan of the really radical customs, and to chop it that much, I say, heck yes. That's the thing about this. If you put that next to a stock Merc, it's way different. You could look at any one of these, and if you look at the green car over here, without the chop, it's just a different car. It just goes to show that sometimes a little maturity goes a long way. Instead of just cutting up any one of these dozen or so Mercuries and making a cartoon contraption, these guys have held the belief of their style from back in the day, and there's power in that. I mean, if there was ever a description of electric blue, I think if the sun hits that, we will see a show. I've said it before, I'll say it a million times more. It's the wheel and tire combo, the stance, the paint that makes the thing what it is. That's what gives it the attitude. Yeah, something like this color on the Model A just wouldn't fly. This car looks epic in this kind of pinky tone, but when you look at this green Merc, it's a little more conservative, and I think that would be the feeling of the Model A. This kind of gray car over here, the wheel and tire combo, simple, understated, that would look good on anything. And this just looks like business. This looks like a fast car. I've always liked the two-tone, especially the way they broke the paint on this trim. It's nice. Pretty much if you go to any car show in Southern California, you're gonna see that guy Victor back there. He gets to every show. Today he's got the Rivi that I worked on with him. He's got the Merc Eater, and he's got one of his other Mercs also. I got a thing for Volkswagens. Introducing the Yellow Submarine. You thought we were here looking at hot rods, didn't you? It's taking a turn. The Walrus. Cuckoo Cachoo. See, we're talking about the attitude of a car, right? These are iconic also. I mean, this is pretty much factory stock, but it's got an attitude. There's something about them. People just love it. Sitting in there like a hunchback with the flies coming in the windshield. I went through a swarm of bees once in one of these. It was awesome.
What's up, Ian?
How you doing, man?
How are you, man?
Good.
Man, I see your show all the time.
Thanks, man. Appreciate
Nice to meet
it.
you, man.
Right on. Good to see you.
Nice to meet you. Love your work.
Yeah, it's interesting to come to this car show because it's super diverse, and you got different car clubs representing their different styles. So, it's the VW Click right here. You got the lead sleds. Right now, there's a bunch of nitromethane dragsters doing their thing. Shall we? Talk about a wild ride. These things get with the program. The most satisfying thing that I do get out of my little workshop is that a lot of people respond to the TV show, and actually out here to hear the old dudes who are the creators of this whole culture saying they like my style, that's really cool. It's crazy, this aging thing. When I stepped in, I was the new kid on the block, right? Just trying something out. Here we are decades later. And now I'm like the kid from the neighborhood that made it or something.
Hey, Ian.
Yeah, man.
You got to know something really important. That car of Victor's,
Yeah.
greatest car on the ground. That Packard.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Thank God that you're around. When you look at that thing, that's straight as an arrow.
I appreciate it, man.
I wish I owned that, and Victor won't give it to me.
Oh, look, it's another Batmobile. They're all over the place. Well, Barris Customs made the first Batmobile, and it's a thing. If you don't know about the Bat cult, there's a lot of these, a lot of replicas. So this isn't the same base model car as the original Batmobile, but it does have the authentic detect-a-scope. It's got the authentic Bat phone. There's an emergency Bat turn lever. I mean, that's what every car needs. Every car, you know, it has a stance, it has a style, right? And this is like super modern. This is 100% street rod. Wheels and tires like this on this car, okay. Definitely not on a stock Model A though. But this represents kind of like the height of the street rod thing, where it's not even an actual production car. It's 100% custom. It's one of them there Mercedes-Benzes. Jay Leno's collection is next level stuff. Every time you see one of the cars he brings out, it's just like, what? Look at this behemoth, chain drive to the rear end. Just all the yes. Look at the engine, out of control. Interesting, because it looks like an old-fashioned jalopy, but it's got stealth disc brakes on the front. Like, where do you even get this, right? Let alone drive it around the city. Aspirations.
Love your show, man.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, look at this thing. You know, the only thing that would make this boat better if it had tires under it. That's all. And look at the power transmission, right? It's just right there between you and your best friend. You can feel this thing sucking your earlobes back as you're going 150,000 miles an hour. You know what my first word was ever? Fire truck. I mean, talk about a piece of history. 1913, that's even before I was born. Wooden rims, solid rubber tires. Just wow. I mean, talk about cool. Look at the spotlight too. They got their shop inspector emblazoned on the side. Guess what his name is? Sparky. This one's chain drive too. I guess that was a thing. Really cool. That's not the droid we're looking for.
You know, watch the channel, love the channel.
Thanks, man. All in all, it's been an awesome day in the park. I got a lot of ideas. I got to get back to the shack and make this happen. One of the last necessary and cosmetic things is, of course, taillights and the license plate. Fenders had the license plate bracket with taillight on one side and a taillight on the other. That's all gone now. With the traditional hot rods, typically you see it right here in the rear pan. And the name of the game with any hot rod is stripped down and lean, you know, less is more type of thing. The way Alan and I treated the front headlights was all business, very simple. Officer probably won't give you a ticket. Same thing with the taillights. You want to have your race car street legal. We all know that a prolonged taillight selection can lead to quite the debacle. I opted to avoid all that and make a decision. Speedway had a bunch of options, and I chose these. 50 Pontiac, classic. These are reproduction, and they are beauteous. There's some other ones that are kind of oval shaped. I think they might be Ford, I don't remember, but I like the round Pontiac. Look at the headlight, it's round. Look at the tires, it's round. Steering wheel, round. Do you see any ovals on this car? I mean, even that thing with the wings on top of the radiator. Hey, the taillights are round also. Makes the world go round. I'm gonna center the license plate first and see what dimension works best for the placement of the taillights. There's a couple different license plates that could go on this. This is from '63. The older ones are a little bigger, but I'm just basically coming up with a layout. If I do use a wider license plate, like the older style, I'm just gonna set these a little bit wide. The wider plate won't make it look kind of bunched towards the center. I think that's the number right there. In case you haven't noticed, it's a little warm out. I learned this trick on that movie, Predator. He used the Bic shaver to do exactly like this. Whew, it's hot. The last thing is the little mounting for the license plate. Naturally, we'll be using locking hardware in the end. That's a good placeholder. What's not to like about that? That's tasty, classic design. This is exactly the look. You look at any picture in the little magazines from back in the day, this could be one of those cars. All that work has led up to pretty much the blank slate scenario. And it's obviously transformed from that parade car. The chop gives it some attitude, but the wheels and tires are what's gonna sell the concept. As I understand, the V8 might be in the cards in the future. That would be the natural evolution. So just for the look, why not change out the wheels now? One challenge with wheel replacement on the Model A stock suspension is the center bore of the rim. The hub has a pretty pronounced large embossment on it. That's what centers the rim. In the future, the client's plan is definitely to change over to juice brakes, but I know the bolt pattern will not change, so the wheel and tire combo, it's gotta stick. Part of the stance, the attitude of these cars is like having a little rake in the front. Without modifying the suspension, you would do a rubber rake. You'd have big tires in the back and smaller in the front. So I'm just trying to figure out like what's actually gonna work on the car. Not only looking at the rim width, backspace, dimensions, I'm looking at the tires, the style, from bias ply to the pie crust, I mean to white wall or not too white wall. There's a lot of options. So we got all these fine examples. Let's take off that back tire and see what's going on. So that's what I was describing. That's quite the large circle. Just for mocking up, I know that these don't fit the bolt pattern. This is a GM rim. It's a good look. The tread is saying more 1960s, 70s, but it's a 15-inch rim with a wide white wall. It's quite the attitude adjustment. Looks better already. Front tires are definitely too fat, really wide. The backs, they're looking on point though. This one with the cutout center, I wonder if that'll get on the bolt pattern like it's supposed to. That just makes it. Yeah, something about the black rims with black tires, pretty aggressive. Rumor has it that the Ford truck rims from the mid-late 60s fit this. Look at that. That is evolution right there. That's a pretty fat tire to be period correct, but tell me it doesn't look good. Just a quick floor jack session and a bunch of wheels, you could see so many different styles represented, and they've pretty much all been used on a Model A. Those rims in the front are pretty much ideal. For a front rim, you could just get a little thinner tire. Maybe I'm on the hunt for a pair of 16s, because those look darn perfect. Yeah, you can see the contrast pretty clearly now. It's like two different worlds. I got a little thinking, a little parts gathering to do, but that's only half the story. The other half of the story is about the paint. Just like with all the theorizing of the chop, etc. on this project, the paint choice is gonna say everything as well. Every part of the project makes a statement. If you paint that car black, people are gonna respond one way. Paint it pink, they're gonna respond a whole different way. The overall end game in the paint is just to make it look like it belongs, right? Kind of like the rest of the car, we won't know the story until it's ready for its maiden voyage. You give me some toner and a gallon of white vintage flats and the party's just getting started. Hey. Got that Model A tidied up and ready for the shakedown run. Now the car has got an attitude. I mean, it's the same old thing inside, but now you're ready to race. You have to be hunched down because it's that low. There's a lot to be said for starting with a decent vehicle. I mean, this thing, we only did sheet metal work to. Mechanically, it's bone stock. It's still turnkey, runs perfect. The entire inspiration for this was the traditional hot rod from the 40s. So back in the day, there was no aftermarket stuff. And of course, first order of business was always strip off the extra weight. Al and I have done some really weird projects in the past. I've really tried out his skill set. We work great together. The results speak for that. I can't wait to work with him again. As a fabricator, I always want to do the crazy stuff, right? Imagine being the teenage kid doing this in your garage and the success and the joy you'd feel, the envy of all your pals. Just wow. I mean, the proverbial time machine. I gotta say, it's a bit of a transformation from Grandpa's old parade car to the young man graduating high school's hot rod. The mandate on this was we weren't trying to do anything new. We were trying to get that authentic old school look. So we used vintage flats paint. We put a little tint in there white, and it turned out to like this antique kind of blue color, similar to primer, but it's paint. So it's got sort of that old school semi-gloss single stage look. For this style car, the wheel choice was pretty limited. For the era we were working on, it would have definitely been steel wheels with that style rubber. This is the traditional hot rod combo. These are 1940 Ford rims. They're 16-inch. You got a little bit bigger in the back and a little bit littler in the front. Looks just like it's supposed to. The headlights set just right there. The chop is just very aggressive. For a basically stock car, it's got a ton of attitude. Had the glass cut and glued in properly. The windows roll up and down. Front window opens as it should. I'm really satisfied with the size of the back window. I feel like that perimeter line of the windows coming through and into that back, if it was any smaller, it would start to look cramped. I think it really gives a balanced look. That's my job. People come to me and say, hey, what would you do to make this car unique? How about a mini glove box? I got one trick. It works perfect. You can access all the areas in the tank that we cut out. This is a really nice change of pace. For what Alan and I started with was a really, really correct, nice car. So to do this, I think, in my opinion, it only enhanced it. I love the fact that we kept the rumble seat. It's such a small car inside. You're gonna wanna take a couple friends to get a burger. Hey, hop in the back, grab on those handles and let's go. A lot of times at this point of the project, I'm standing in front of something that looks like it came off of another planet, right? This thing is classic, iconic Americana. And I think I fit right in. Change of pace. It's just so interesting to think about when I started my career, I was building cars to kind of thumb my nose at the people with these cars, right? And now here I am, 20 years later, gray-haired and ailing, wishing for one of those cars. I gotta say, another project in the books, another satisfied customer. Well, at least I'm satisfied. That's enough. There's just something to be said for the real deal, and I didn't know until I actually drove a 1931 hot rod. Nothing like it. I'm going for another ride.